So here is an example, a description photo that I put up from the internet that explains in steps how you build inversions of a triad. So let's take first, let's break it down. Here at the beginning, you can see that you start from C and then you put an E on it and you put a G on it. The example here is G major. That is your root position, where the root is the bottom note. And then you move up, you see that the E that forms the second note is now the bottom. At the end of your inversions, you would have played the same C, E, G, but you would have played them starting from different notes. So your C moves to the top for your first inversion, and then your E moves to the bottom. Your E, which was the next note, has now moved to the bottom. And the same thing happens where your G, which is the second note in this first inversion, now moves to the bottom, and E moves up. Do you see that? So root position C, E, G, first inversion, E moves to the bottom, and C moves up. So you are going to take the highest note and bring it to this middle note. Or let's put it this way, you take the lowest note, make it the highest note, and play everything, and you get your inversions each time. So let's try that. Let's see the keyboard. This is C, E, and G. These are the three notes that represent your C major. These are the three notes that make your C major triad. So if you move this one to the top, we get our first inversion. If we move this one to the top, we get our second inversion. So as you can see, root position, first inversion, third inversion. And the same rule applies to every other chord. So I'm going to take the examples of the ones we treated yesterday. I'm going to use them as examples, right? I'll quickly do that. So we already did C, F major, treated F major. So let's go with F major. F major has A, C. So first inversion, we'll put our F above. That's our first inversion. Second inversion, we'll take our bottom note now and put it above. That's E. We have C, F. Let's try D major. D major is D, F sharp, A. Those are the numbers 1, 3, and 5 of the major scale of D. So if we go here, first inversion will be what? Yes, I hope you got that correctly. First inversion will be D goes up. Second inversion will be F sharp goes up. All right, D minor, same rule. D goes up, first inversion. Second inversion, F goes up. So we have G major, first inversion, G goes up, second inversion, B goes up. A minor, first inversion. I'm waiting for you to do it. If you did this, all right. Let's go to second inversion. I'm waiting for you to do it. You did this, all right. So Let's do one more, which is G minor, if I'm not wrong. G minor, okay. Well, we still have two others. We have E minor and G minor from what I gave you yesterday. So G minor should be this, right? Your G, B flat, and D. So if you take G upwards, it gives you a first inversion. If you take this note now, which is B flat, to the top, it gives you second inversion. So your first inversion, second inversion. Let's take the last one, E minor. You take E and you put it up, it gives you a first inversion. Take G and put it on the top, it gives you the last inversion, which is a second inversion. All right, I hope that this helps. This explanation, including the work I gave you as examples for triads and their inversions. And this applies to every kind of triad, whether it's a diminished triad, whether it's an augmented triad, whether it's a major triad, or it's a minor triad. But within the scope of the chords that we have learned so far, which are major and minor triads, we have limited these inversions, but you can always apply them to all triads. In fact, you can apply the same principle to every kind of chord, whether it's a triad or not. If it's a chord that has 4 notes, it will then have 3 inversions. If the chord that has 5 notes, it will have 4 inversions, right? And it's the same rule that applies. No matter where you're building from, you always move the last note, the bottom note, move it up to the highest note, and you get your next inversion. So for every time that you move your bottom note to the highest note, you get an inversion. All right? So invert. To invert is to do this. Okay? So invert or to do this. That's an inversion. All right? So I hope that helps. I hope this clears everything. I hope you're good. See you next time. Bye-bye.